Hey guys, Ghibli here, bringing you episode 6 of Get Ranked. This time we're going to take a look at Druid. Druid is not my favorite of the heroes, probably why I've taken till episode 6 to do a video on him. Just mainly because of the fact that I find the gameplay really slow with Druid and it's just not my style. However, still have some really powerful cards and can make really good plays. So I get a pretty decent hand there. I start with, Wild Growth Demolisher, Mark of the Wild, and Wrath. And I get second turn, so I'll get the coin. So, pretty good start. One of the strong points of Druid is if they get, like, those early Innervates, and plus on turn 2, they can summon, like, Fen Creepers on turn 1 and stuff like that, putting a lot of pressure. So I get really lucky there, and I get a top deck Fairy Dragon, so I coin up and get that on the field. Fairy Dragons are really hard to deal with, I can't stress that enough. I love having them in my hand. It's a 2 mana card that's 3 attack, 2 health that can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. It's very strong. So he summons a Loot Hoarder. So I just use my hero power, which is Shapeshift. So it gives my actual hero 1 attack and 1 armor, allowing me to attack. So works out nicely to kill that. He gets the card draw, but I get to hit him 3 times in the face. Well, 1 time in the face for 3 damage, I suppose. So all of this time, it's allowing me to kind of build up card draw, so I have more cards to deal with whatever he throws at me. So here he uses Claw, which, gives his hero 2 attack and 2 armor. And he also uses Shapeshift, which, just gives him the extra armor so he doesn't take any damage. He doesn't need the 3 attack, but, he might as well not take any damage if he can't play any other cards. So good move on his part. So here I'll summon my Demolisher, which, at the start of my turn throws like a barrel at an enemy minion that does 2 damage, a random enemy minion, and it deals 2 damage. So it's a strong minion to have on the field, and people usually want to either silence it or kill it right away. So just for the fact that randomness, especially in early game, not many creatures have more than 2 health, so it's going to really affect them. So here he uses Innervate, which gives him 2 extra mana crystals for this turn only, giving him a total of 6 mana. And he summons Druid of the Claw, which turns into a charge. It can either be turned into a charge, 4/4, or a taunt, 4/6. So, good play by him. I get my Wrath option to do 3 damage or 1 damage and draw a card. So I use the 3 damage, kill the minion, and end my turn. So, and I did another spell that gives me a mana crystal. So next turn I'll have, instead of 5 mana, I'll have 6 mana. So it's kind of giving me up further in the mana tree. So earlier on in the game, I can summon bigger creatures like the Iron Bark that I have in my hand. So for here, I do another card. So this is called Nourish. So I can choose either to gain 2 mana crystals this turn and permanently, or draw 3 cards. I decided to go for the mana crystals. So I have 3 mana now after using 5, and I'll have 9 mana next turn instead of, I think, 7. So, however, looking back on that, I think it may have been better to have done the card draw, just because card draw wins games in this card game. Because having more options to deal with stuff is just the better way to go about it. However, it does work out for me, so that's all right. I'll just say that right now, like a spoiler alert, right? Does work out for me. He has a stealth minion, so I couldn't have attacked it. I do have a swipe in my hand, so just in case it gets maybe lower down to 1 health, I can deal with it. I do still have the Mark of the Wild, and I got Force of Nature, which is a really strong epic card that summons 3 Trents that both have 2 attack and 2 health, and they have charge, and at the end of the turn they die. So he buffs up his creature to 4/6, and I end up summoning the Force of Nature and killing it. So it's a really good card to kind of get you out like a little sticky situation like this if you don't have the cards to deal with it. And then I do Shapeshift and attack him right to the face, getting rid of his armor. So once again, clearing the board, trying to maintain control over the match. That way, if stuff goes out of hand, I can easily turn it back around in my favor. If I don't do that, it can start having a snowball effect, and that's really dangerous in this game, especially with stuff like Druid or Paladin and Shaman. You really don't want to give them board control. Druid has lots of cards that buff people, that give them an extra 2 attack and 2 health, and gives them taunt. Like, Druid is the ultimate taunt. So here he summoned a stealth creature with 1 health, so I swipe his hero, which kills the stealth creature, summon my ooze safely because Druids don't have any weapons, and then shapeshift and attack right to his hero's face. Kind of, once again, that board control. You want to maintain the board control for sure. So I nice to have a silence in my hand just in case he summons and buffs anything. Really important if you're going up against a druid to have at least 1 silence. You should always have at least 1 ooze and 1 silence in your hand for any deck. Like, it's almost a necessity because it's going to allow you to deal with it. It's, you know, it's another thing to deal with the solution. It's another solution to a problem. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a solution to a problem. He summons a questing adventurer and a geomancer, and then he buffs the questing adventurer with a Mark of Wild. So, you know, now instead of, you know, a 2/2, it's a 6/6 creature. So this is where, you know, druids can get really out of hand really quickly. Luckily, I have that silence. I got a really nice top deck, Druid with the Claw. I decided to go for the charge. You know, kill his geomancer and then trade my ooze for his questing adventurer and end my turn. So maintain that board control while still having minions on the field. So at this point, I have advantage. You know, we're about on the same as, you know, card advantage. We have about the same, you know. But board control, I'm completely winning it at the moment. So, however, you know, my creatures only have 2 and 3 health, so it's really easy to kill them. So, like, if he has like a Starfall or something, he can combo that with like his shapeshift. Instead, he summons a Bluegill Warrior, charge Murloc. And then he swipes my face, killing my minion, and then he shapeshifts, killing my other minion, taking the 4 damage to the face. Now, whether or not that was the best idea or not, you know, probably was, because you want to maintain that, you know, you want to maintain that board control. But here I have 10 mana, I'm able to summon my Iron Bark, shapeshift, and then attack his face. I didn't summon Mark of the Wild because if he has a silence or he has something to basically deal with the Iron Bark, I would lose 2 cards instead of 1. So what you want to do, at least what I like to do with, like, when you have like buff cards, is wait till the turn where they can attack until you increase it. Like right there, he had a silence. I would have lost my Mark of the Wild at that point. What I can do now is I can buff it to 10/10 and give it back taunt, allowing for my creature to become just as powerful as was before, even more powerful. So that's what I do. I'm Mark of the Wild, making him a 10/10 creature. Use my Wrath here for card draw, 1 damage, and then I get a card draw. So it kills off his creature. I get Innervate. I attack. I shapeshift. And go right for his face. So he only has 9 health left. And I have a 10/10 creature on the field. Plus my shapeshift. So it's technically 11 damage. Sorry. Pretty bad situation for him to be in right now. You know, he summons a Bluegill Warrior, attacks, he knows that he can't beat me, it's game over, he concedes to me. So, once again, you use, you know, buff cards and timing with the Druid to fully utilize their powers. So, that, in my opinion, is how the Druid works best. Not my favorite hero because things are kind of lengthy. It's a lot of waiting out, you know, getting that mana for the next turn, you know, waiting for the next turn to be able to combo off of this and combo off of that. So, not my favorite. However, still a very strong hero if played correctly and if you have the right cards. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out Get Ranked episode 5 with Shaman. Should be up there for you. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitch, that'd be much appreciated. I do stream regularly at twitch.tv/Ghibli with 2 eyes. Also, if you want to give me a little subscribe to YouTube, that'd be more than appreciated. I would love you guys for it. And also check out twitch.tv/BloodyTech. Good events going on that channel, plus giveaways at times. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned on that channel for any awesome giveaways and stuff. Thank you guys again for watching. See ya.